Hey guys, this is Amber, also known as Mama Munchkin from Global Munchkins, and this is Family Travel Chat Tuesdays. I do this live every Tuesday at 10 a.m. here on my page, Global Munchkins, and we talk all things family travel. We've been talking a lot about Disney World. If you didn't catch last week's episode, you can catch it on the blog at globalmunchkins.com. We discussed how we save 70% off at Disney resorts. We've been Vacation Club members for since like 2001, I think. And so we have gone on a ton of Disney vacations. And I thought we should probably share some of our tips on planning a Disney trip. I think I've visited the parks like 15 times with our kids. And over the years, there's been changes, but there certainly are some things that we have learned along the way that help us have really awesome Disney World vacation tips for all of you, especially if you are a rookie and this is something you're planning or hoping to do someday. These are tips that will definitely help you have the best Disney World trip possible. Now, if you're joining, please, click the like button or the heart button or leave me a comment. Let me know where you're joining from. Let me know your best tips, your questions about planning a trip to Disney World. I would just love to be able to help you, and I can actually see on my phone all the questions that you guys have out there. So I'll go ahead and get started with what I think you guys want to talk about. But if you have a question, feel free to go ahead and type that in and let me know what it is. Or if you have a tip and you want me to share it, I'll give you a shout out as well. So first things first, I think that there are a couple big mistakes, misconceptions that people have when they're planning their trip to Walt Disney World. For a lot of families, it's like a bucket list item. They think they're only going to go once. They want to get the most out of it. And I think that the big difference between like veteran Disney World people and newbies is this idea of quantity over quality, which is a huge mistake, because the whole idea of going to Disney World with your family is really to create these magical memories. And Disney does a phenomenal job setting you up so that you can have these amazing memories. But if you're racing around the park trying to, check off every ride off your list, I promise you it will not be a fun trip. It will be crying and tears and tantrums and tired feet and crankiness and hunger, and it's a big mess. But I see it every time we're at the parks, like, you're gonna like it whether, we paid X amount for this trip, So I would say that, number one mistake to avoid is don't overplan your Disney World trip. Just remember that it's about the quality of the experience that you're having, not about the quantity. That said, another big mistake is not planning at all and not making any reservations, not utilizing the systems that Disney has in place to make sure that your trip is a good one. Those things which we're going to discuss in more detail would be your advanced dining reservations and your FastPass Plus. Knowing those two things and having a general idea of what rides, are really like the top ones you definitely want to pick, that would be a mistake as well. So don't overplan, but also don't just go in there and freeball it, because that's not going to be fantastic. I probably shouldn't have said that, but you know what I mean. Anyways, the other thing is not taking into consideration the weather in Florida, because it's crazy town. I've been at all different times of the year, and you either get like the love bugs in the spring, or you get, downpours in July. We were there one winter where it was freezing. Like I thought it was in a winter destination with like parkas. So Florida's weather is funky, and you have to know that going in. It'll make the trip a lot better. And then also, like, don't wear your new shoes, and don't wear your cute sandals. Like, you are in this. You're going to be walking like 7 miles a day, I think is the average distance people walk when they're traveling to Disney World per day. So you want some really comfortable shoes, especially like, I know I could walk around in flip-flops. I'd be like in my rainbow flip-flops in like my 20s and early 30s. I'm 35 now, and I realize that my feet are like, it's like a whole new thing. They're so tender. So, I've got to get like my Nikes on when we're in the parks. But anyways, those are some just like basic rookie tips that everybody should know. Now, if you're planning your trip for the first time, there's something called My Disney Experience. So you set up your DisneyWorld.com account. And you can also download the My Disney Experience app, which I highly recommend. It's fantastic. And this is a website and app that hold all your reservations. So your room reservations, your dining reservations, your FastPass Plus reservations. It also connects you to your PhotoPass. If you have Memory Maker, which we'll discuss in a minute, it connects that as well. And they will send you these really cool magic bands. So this is what you wear in the park. This is your magic band. If you can see here, Ella got hers personalized with Princess on it. But you can get them personalized if you go to your My Disney Experience account, and you can pick what color and what you want it to say in the inside, which the kids get a kick out of, and then Disney mails them to you in this really awesome box, and it's very exciting when you get them. But this is your magic band, and when you're in your My Disney Experience account, you're able to set everything up so that it's all on here. So this will be your room key, this will be your dining reservations, this will be how you do your room charge and how you pay, this is park entrance, this is PhotoPass, this is memory, this is like, it's a magic band because that's what it is. It's magic, right? It also connects everybody in your group with that app and sends you guys reminders on like your dining reservations and stuff like that. Make sure that if you guys are just joining that you let me know where you're joining from. If you have any questions on planning a Walt Disney World trip, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to help you out. Our next thing I wanted to talk about is the dining plan. So it's always like a big, should we not get the dining plan? Now here's the deal. We have 5 kids. My youngest is 3 years old, and then I have 4 kids that are between the ages of 9 and 14. And when they were younger and we were doing all the character dining, the dining plans were, completely worthwhile. I mean, they totally paid for themselves, saved us money, and made everything very easy. As they've gotten older, things have changed because now they want to ride the rides. They don't want to be tied to dining reservations. Sitting at a character meal or at any table service meal, you have to expect at least an hour and a half that it's going to take you to get out of there longer if it's character, to be honest. So my kids don't want to sit around and wait at table services anymore. And they're kind of over characters besides Olivia, who's 3. So for us, it gets tricky with the dining plan. But that said, if you're new to dining, there's 3 different plans. There's a quick service dining plan, there's the standard plan, and there is the deluxe dining plan. You can go onto Disney's website. I'll leave a link for you guys in the comments and look up each one and their prices, but it ranges from about $46 to like $100 something for adults per day, or $20 to $38 for a child. And I'll double check like current rates because they change, and just to make sure that I have the right ones. But that's what they were before. And so you have to plan on like your quick service credits are going to be worth about $16. Your table services are worth about $39, and snack credits are worth about $5. And that's if you're maximizing them. So that's kind of a way that you can judge and calculate it. If you don't have a trip planned yet and you are looking at planning, I highly recommend that you book during the free dining plan period. For 2017, it says it is between August 21st and September 30th. November 14th through the 20th, November 25th through the 27th, and December 8th through the 23rd. So all of those, if you book if you book now through July 7th, you'll get this free dining plan, and then that is like amazing for sure. That's one of the best ways to go. But if you don't, then you may want to either look at the quick service dining plan, which still works out great for our kids' ages because we're able to grab and go at least some of our meals as we're going. So we'll kind of use them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and then kind of go out as we want to. But if you're going to be going to see characters, then definitely get, either the standard or the deluxe. The difference between the two is really, I think, in how many table service meals that you get. Yeah. So I think standard's probably fine for most people, but definitely look into that and then use those credits like I was talking about to see which one works for your family. The key, though, is in the advanced dining reservations. So Disney does put a lot of things in place for families to be able to have a good time, but you really have to pay attention. Like, set alarms because it's seriously like that big of a deal. Advanced dining reservations, you have 180 days in advance to book your advanced dining reservations. Plus, you have 10 extra days if you have a on-property resort confirmation number. So you can actually book 190 days advance if you have that confirmation number and you do it over the phone. Some of the top restaurant choices that you're going to want to have advanced reservations for. One of the biggest is the Be Our Guest restaurant. It's very popular right now if you're going to go there for dinner. Any meal at Cinderella's Royal Table is really difficult to get into, so those need to be made like on the dot. Like it opens at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. on the East Coast time. The 180 days in advance, it needs to be like you're on the phone like 6:59 and you're calling them, because the reservations really do go that fast. A couple others that we really like are places like Ohana and Rose and Crown for dinners, because they have fireworks viewings, so that's also good reservations to get. My kids get a kick out of Teppan Edo. It's in Japan, and they do the whole like Teppan chef. That's a great place to use them. Some other ones are Boma, has delicious food. Hollywood Brown Derby, California Grill. Those are some ones that have fantastic food. Kona Cafe is delicious. It's located inside the Polynesian restaurant. It's a sit down. They have excellent breakfast and a really good dinner. There was like Hawaiian bread with this sweet, I don't know, it's like a macadamia nut butter or something. It's amazing. So that one's really fun. San Angel Inn is a nice one. It kind of reminds me of Blue Bayou, because you're like in that darker area by the boat ride, the Three Caballeros ride in Epcot in the Mexico area. Let's see what else. Whispering Canyon is super fun for dinner. They do some exciting stuff with the kids where they kind of race around on like wooden horses and stuff like that. What else? Tusker House in Animal Kingdom is a good restaurant. So those are just some of the ones that we personally really enjoy and are really difficult. Like any character meal, you're going to need an advanced dining reservation for, especially if they're inside of a park. If you've missed that period of time, definitely try some of the character experiences within the resorts. Sometimes you can find those, and if you have younger kids, usually the one with the Disney Junior characters is probably like the least popular, so you can probably get into that one as well if you've waited. If you have waited and you didn't get your dining in on time, I would suggest setting an alarm on your phone and like frequently going back and checking, because people have to put a credit card down for their reservations and they will cancel. So, don't lose all hope, just make sure that you're checking. But if you can, plan ahead and do the 180 days. That way you get the places that you really want. For us, I was talking about how we really like the quick service dining plan. And we love a few places that I would highly recommend you use your quick service places at, your quick service credits at. Wolfgang Puck Express is a great one, located in downtown Disney. They have an excellent breakfast, lunch, and dinner, delicious salads, butternut squash soup that's super good, great breakfast. They have this huge breakfast pizza that can be split. Which is another kind of a tip, is that you don't have to, like, each person on the dining plan is allocated with a specific number of credits. However, it's kind of just like a pool of credits located on your Magic Pass. So for like breakfast, we'll go to Wolfgang Puck and get a couple of those pizzas and split them and use maybe 3 credits instead of 6 credits. Doing stuff like that really helps to extend the amount that you are getting back on that dining plan, since you're putting forth that money. Another great idea for breakfast or lunch in the Magic Kingdom is the Be Our Guest restaurant. That is also great if you've missed the Be Our Guest dinner. You didn't get reservations there. You can still eat there for breakfast or lunch. And that's only a quick service, so it's cheaper too. And they can still walk around and see the whole experience. You still get the rows at your table. They still come and bring it to you in that nice cart. You can still go check out the rose with the falling petals, so it's still a pretty cool experience. A couple other ones are Earl of Sandwich in downtown Disney. That's a good one to use it at. Flame Tree Barbecue is delicious. That whole area of Animal Kingdom's got a ton of really good food, same as Epcot, that are quick service. And then some of the best snack credits that you can use would be like the Dole Whip float. Everybody wants a Dole Whip float. You can use your snack credit for that. What you don't want to do is use your snack credit for things like soda and water, because we've talked about this before, and ice water is free in the parks. So just bring your refillable water. Don't waste your snack credits on water. That is a foolish mistake. There's so many yummy things. The Berry Cream Puff in Norway at Epcot is fantastic, great snack option. Ample Hills Creamery opened in Boardwalk, so it's a delicious creamery. You can go get some frozen treats there. There's the Zebra Domes, which are very popular at Animal Kingdom. Mickey Ice Cream Bars, churros, Mickey Pretzels with cheese sauce, frozen chocolate dipped bananas. What else? Funnel cake. Those are all snack options as well. When it's cold, I love those, what are they, sweet kind of glazed nuts that they have. Those are delicious. They're like hot glazed nuts. They're super yummy. That's a good snack item. The kids really enjoy the LeFou's brew. from that Gaston bakery over in Fantasyland. You don't get like the souvenir cup, but they'll put it in a normal cup for a snack credit. Also, all the themed cupcakes you see, and the brownies with like the Mickey sprinkles, all that kind of stuff that it's at the bakery and at Starbucks also in the parks, does count as a snack credit. And then they have the custom ice cream sandwiches at a couple places in the parks. Like, there's a place on Main Street where they hand scoop the ice cream and put it in between 2 fresh chocolate chip cookies, and that is delicious. There's also seasonal milkshakes found at Dockside Diner and Hollywood Studios that are really, really good uses of snack credits. Root beer floats are all over the place. You can get those as a snack credit. If you need gluten-free or vegan, there's also the Erin McKenna's Bakery in downtown. And so they have that kind of stuff as well. And if you visit during a festival, make sure you ask what your meal credits work on inside the festival as well. We were there for the Epcot Garden Flower and Garden Festival, and I believe it was snack credits that we were able to use at all of these places, getting these like tiny tastings of just amazing, amazing food. So I would definitely recommend asking, what you receive when you're there during the festival time. That's kind of dining, unless you guys have any questions. If you do have questions, you're watching this on a replay, just leave them in the comments. I will definitely get back and answer your questions that you have. But overall, I think dining plan works great if you have older kids that are very hungry and enjoy eating, like foodie kids, or your kids are between the ages of 3 and 9, and you have some that are younger, because under 3 you don't have to pay for it. They can have their own plate at the buffet. So if you have like younger kids that will eat and want to see the characters, that's going to be your best uses of the dining plan. Or you're a foodie and you love to eat. For us, it's not as great of a deal anymore because the kids don't want to sit down and eat, besides Olivia, and even she doesn't want to sit down and eat. And we kind of want to be able to eat healthier food, and so we usually stay in the villas and do bring in a lot of our snacks and meals. So we don't normally get a dining plan. Like, we're going to be going this summer, and I'll kind of record how we do it. You can follow along on Instagram at global_munchkins. But we do not have a dining plan this time around. So follow along and see how we do without a dining plan. See if that works for your family as well. It's really all about what works for you. I think that's the most important thing about traveling to Disney World. It's not about how many rides you got on or what restaurants you got to eat at. It's really just about having these really awesome experiences with your kids and doing it however you can do it. And whatever way works best for you is the way that you should go and do it. Talking about that, FastPasses, the new FastPass Plus system is a bit confusing. So let's go over how to utilize it to your advantage. So the FastPass Plus can be booked in advance, needs to be booked in advance. So if you are staying on property, you can book 60 days in advance. And if you are not staying on property, but you have park tickets, you can book 30 days in advance. And the day starts at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you need to be like on your computer immediately, right before then. Just like if you're buying like concert tickets, it's a very exciting time and stressful, but you got to be on there and do it. Otherwise you're not going to get the fast passes that you want. How it works is you can book 3 fast passes per park. No, 3 fast passes in 1 park per day is what you can book in advance, that far in advance. And what you can do then is, once you use those 3 and you've used all 3 up, then you can book additional fast passes on your Disney app, the My Disney Experience app, or by going to a kiosk in the park. You can book additional ones. So the best thing to do is not to do what most people do. Like, most people that are new book their 3 fast passes and they like spread them out. They're trying to like enjoy the day, or I am not sure. They feel like that's the right thing to do. It's not. The right thing to do when you're booking your fast passes is to book them like in a lump amount, all 3, maybe between like 10 and noon or 10 and 1, 10 and 2, somewhere like that. A little window, because what you're going to want to do is you are going to go to the park early. You're going to get there for the rope drop, like 30 to 45 minutes before the park opens. You are going to get to a few of the rides, maybe 2 or 3 rides before the crowds come in. Then it's going to be like 10, 11 o'clock, and you're going to start using up your fast passes while those crowds are all coming in, right? You're going to use your 3 fast passes. When you've used all 3 of them, you are going to hop on your My Disney Experience app or hit up a kiosk, and you're going to book your next 3 fast passes, but you're going to book them for a different park. And the reason you're going to do that is because you're going to go now take a break and eat lunch and maybe enjoy the pool at your resort, Maybe take a nap, highly recommended, and at least get those feet up. Because it extends your trip, you guys, so much. Like, it feels like a whole new day if you do the one park in the morning, go back, relax, nap, and then go out to another park at night. I promise you, it's like getting 2 days out of every day. You've extended the hours, you're awake, people are in good moods, everybody's well rested. You avoid the park in the middle of the day when it's the hottest, the most crowded. So it's really the ideal plan. And the fact that it makes your trip feel longer, I mean, it's like free vacation days, right? So let's see. Oh, the other thing is you want to avoid the magic hours, okay? Hey, Carolyn, how are you? Don't go to the magic hours, because everybody's going to go to the magic hours that can, and like that's staying on property, and then like start counting all the resorts on Disney World property. There's a lot of people on property, and they are all going to be at those extra magic hours. So, you know, the mornings maybe, but honestly, we avoid them like the plague. Like, we don't even go in the morning or at night if it's magic hours. In fact, what we do is the opposite. If I know that Magic Kingdom is going to have extra magic hours evenings tomorrow, then tonight or the following day after the extra magic hours day is when I would go, because everybody else was going to go on the day with the magic hours. So those are a couple things. So with fast passes, you're going to book in advance, 60 days if you were staying on property, 30 days if you're not. You're going to get on right at 7 a.m. to book those fast passes. You're going to book 3 in a lump sum, like from 10 to 1. And then you are going to get to the park early and avoid the extra magic hours, and make sure that you book your next fast passes after you've used your 3. And it's not as difficult as it sounds, especially with the My Disney Experience app. It's super user friendly. It even shows you all of the wait times, the current wait times, so you can kind of judge and say, okay, let's book these 3 fast passes, and look, you know, there's no line at, you know, these places. Some of the places that really don't have lines very often are the PhilharMagic. It's air conditioned. It's a great place to cool off in Fantasyland. Like the Enchanted Tiki Room's another good one to cool off in Bear Country Jamboree. Swiss Family Treehouse, you can go climb that if you need to kill some time. The Aladdin's Magic Carpet Ride also doesn't usually have too long of a wait. Same with Nemo, goes really quick in Epcot because it always is constantly loading. Any ride that's constantly loading, the lines tend to be a little bit better on those ones. So there's tons of rides that you definitely need to get the Fast Pass for. Obviously with that new Avatar area in Animal Kingdom, those Fast Passes are like, you know, big time. You got to get those ones. Some other big ones would be the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train ride in Magic Kingdom. That's still, you know, super popular. It's crazy waits. You're going to want one for that. And Frozen Ever After in Epcot. Star Tours always is really long in Hollywood Studios. And then after that, it's just like all the big guns. You know, you're going to want Splash Mountain, Thunder Mountain, Space Mountain, Soarin', Test Track, Mission Space, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, the Safari in Animal Kingdom, the River Rapids, Dinosaur. Those are all the ones that you're probably really going to want to have fast passes for. So let's see, guys. We covered a lot. We covered the 3 rookie mistakes when planning a Disney World trip, which are over planning. This is not about quantity. It's about the quality of your vacation, which means you want to be rested and relaxed, not overdoing it. You want to actually be present and enjoying it. So definitely not over planning. Do not try to check off every ride. With that said, you do want to have a general kind of loose plan where you're going to be at this park in the morning. You don't need to know where you're going to be at night. You can plan that kind of as you go. And then you do need to make sure that you do have your reservations in for FastPass and advanced dining reservations. And then also make sure to wear comfortable shoes and take into consideration the crazy, crazy weather that Florida has going on. That's very important. You're going to want to hop onto that My Disney Experience and start booking all that stuff as soon as you can. You also want to order your personalized magic bands so you can get names put inside of them and pick colors for everybody in your group. That links all of your stuff together, all your reservations, your memory maker, which I didn't really talk about. So Memory Maker is a really cool thing that you can purchase that allows you to go to all the PhotoPass areas and all of the rides that take your picture, and it actually gives you all those pictures onto your account. And it pops up right in your My Disney Experience app, so you can actually download them and share them to social like as you're going through the parks, which is phenomenal. Like, I honestly don't even need my big camera, like my big DSLR, because there's photographers everywhere, and you just tell them to take your picture, and then you're in the picture, because otherwise I come home from Disney World and it's either pictures of me and all the kids or my husband and all the kids, but it's never all of us together. So Memory Maker is totally worth the money. I think it's a really awesome product. Then we discussed the dining plan. We discussed who it's good for. It's not good for everybody, I don't think, but it definitely had its use. We loved it when we had younger kids that liked character dining, and we're kind of so-so about it now. We're actually going to be going for the first time without a dining plan this summer, so follow along to see if that was a good decision or a terrible one. We will find out. You do probably want to get the refillable mugs. These are at the resorts. They're in the teens. I want to say somewhere around 15 bucks, maybe 18 bucks. We get these at Alani as well, and you get free refills at any of the resorts. So this works out really well for us. I would recommend that regardless if you get a dining plan or not. We talked about getting the free dining deal and when that is for this year. So if you are just joining now, you're going to want to watch the replay to hear the details on that. We talked about advanced dining reservations. Make them 180 days in advance. You get 10 extra days, so 190 if you have a property confirmation number and you're staying on Disney property. We talked about the top restaurants that we love, and I think that you guys would love as well. We also talked about the quick service spots that we think are the best bang for your buck and the best uses of snack credits. You're not going to use them on bottles of water. You're either going to buy those at Target and bring them in, or you're going to fill up refillable water bottles with the free water offered all around the parks. And then we talked about our FastPass plan, which is booking 60 days in advance if you are staying on property, 30 if you have a Disney ticket and you're off property. We talked about what rides you're really going to need to get them for, and we talked about booking them at one park and kind of all together in a lump sum so that you're able to get to the park early, ride a few rides, then ride your FastPass rides, then book your FastPass for the evening, head back to the resort, chill at the resort, take a nap, go into a new park at night, and avoid the magic hours. So those are all my best Disney tips. These are more like rookie beginner tips. If you guys have more tips, please share them in the comments below. If you've got posts about Disney World, please share them in the comments below. Let's help people have awesome Disney vacations. If you do not want to go to Disney World, or you just are looking for somewhere else to go, I found some amazing, 6 amazingly cheap flights that are going on right now. Southwest Air has phenomenal one-way rates right now. We can do like Long Beach to Vegas for like 39 bucks one way. There's tons and tons of places that are on sale. So check Southwest and check out that flight sale. You will like that. For all these flights, I will leave them in the post, and there'll be all the links so you can go directly to where you can book. There's also a fantastic flight for Costa Rica. You can fly from Fort Lauderdale, Houston, Chicago, Washington, D.C., New York, New Orleans, or Miami, and it's only 197 bucks round trip. We loved Costa Rica. That Pura Vida is just, that lifestyle is amazing, and Costa Rica is beautiful. It's a great family-friendly place, especially if you have older kids, maybe like, I'd suggest like 8, 9 and up. It's a wonderful trip. There's also Belize, $317 round trip from multiple U.S. cities, including LAX. So if you want to take off and go somewhere, different, somewhere maybe you haven't been, that's a great rate for Belize. A couple more that are Asian focused would be a Vietnam trip. So Ho Chi Minh City you can get to for $523 round trip from LAX, and Malaysia for $535 round trip from LAX. Those are 2 really great deals going all the way into Asia. And there's also a nonstop from New York to Paris for only $328 round trip, which is another really great deal. You can even kind of work it where you get a cheap flight from, let's say, like LAX to New York, and then you take that flight from New York to Paris. That's another great way to use up that, because $328 round trip is a really great rate into Europe from New York. So those are the 6 amazingly cheap flights I found on the web today, and all of my tips for people that are planning their Walt Disney World trip. You can follow us this summer at global_munchkins on Instagram, or here on Facebook at Global Munchkins, or on the website, it's globalmunchkins.com. We are going to be traveling from, we're doing a whole road trip. North Carolina, we're going to fly into Charlotte, then we're going to check out Myrtle Beach and stay at a beautiful Wyndham Resort. We are going to then go into Charlotte, South Carolina, and then into Hilton Head, where we are staying at the Westin there. Then we're going to be going over to Orlando, staying at the Lowe's Portofino Bay Resort and checking out everything new at Universal Orlando, including that really new awesome water park. And then we will move over to the Waldorf Astoria. We've never stayed off property at Disney, and we're going to do so kind of Lux style. So you can follow us along there. And from there, we're going to move over to the Animal Kingdom, where we're staying in a villa, concierge level. So you guys can check out exactly what that is like as well. So I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Tuesday. I hope you are planning some awesome travels. If there's any way I can help you with your vacation, please let me know. Leave a comment. I'm looking for tips on, just traveling. Check out my website, go under travel, and you'll see tons of money-saving tips, packing lists, all sorts of stuff you need. Check by destination. You can see where we've been and our tips for those places. And I guess that's it. Make sure you stop by and say hi, and I hope you guys found this useful. Goodbye.